Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today we're going to be making a dragonfly, and we're going to be using a lot of line pattern like you see in the wings here, and we're going to learn about the parts of the dragonfly, which is very similar to most of the parts of a typical insect. This is something like what our dragonfly will look like, and you can see it's very horizontal with a long vertical body. So we're going to be holding our paper horizontal, which is the long way, and then the short way will be vertical to us here. So the short end is vertical and here is horizontal. To start off our dragonfly, we're going to go to the top horizontal line and we're going to find the very middle. So from side to side, we're going to find the middle, and we're going to drop down one finger and put a guideline. From this line, I'm going to put a circle on each side. What the circles are going to be, we're going to be forming the compound eyes. So if you look here, that's what we're going to be forming, and you can see it's got two circles, but there's a space in between. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start off by making a curve like the letter C. And this is going to be as big as my fingernail right here. So it should be as big as your fingernail. You don't want it real small. And then I'm going to come around and I'm going to make two of them. So one here, I'm leaving a space. So if you make a backwards curve here, and you can finish it on this side here. So I've got two circles. And now I'm going to finish off this head because we're working on the head of the dragonfly right here. So we're forming its head. We're going to just come back down and around. The next section is the jaw of the dragonfly. And that's just a little bump up and back right here. Now underneath the head is the part that we call a thorax. Let's see, I'll show you on this one here. This is the thorax. And we're going to make this just below our head. So I'm going to come down two fingers, put a guideline. I'm going to come out slightly and back to the guideline. Same on this side, out slightly and back. If we imagine a straight line down the middle of our page, this will be the line of symmetry. So whatever we make on one side of the dragonfly, we're going to make the same on the other side, or we're going to try and do it the same. So the next part we're going to do are these amazing wings. So we're going to come out right where it meets the head and the thorax, and I'm going to come out diagonal and go to the edge of the page. Now look, if I'm heading toward the corner, I'm going to stop a little bit before the edge here. This one could probably go a little bit more. So it's a little bit of a space, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm stopping before my corner, and I'm coming down pretty straight to where it meets the head. That way I make sure I have the same on both sides so that this is symmetrical. From here, what I want to do is I want to have some kind of rounded wing here, and then it's going to gently come back to meet the thorax here. So I'm going to give a little space. I'm going to come out almost horizontal, almost pretty straight. And I'm going to do the same on this side, kind of pretty straight. And then I'm going to round this, and I'm going to have it connect to here. So I'm going to come around, right down, right up to it. So now I'm going to round this on the other side, right up to it. So we have a nice rounded edge to our wings. The bottom wings cover a lot of the thorax. He's got two separate wings that come down. So I'm going to skip down about a finger, mark off, and I'm going to have this come slightly diagonal down. Same on the other side. Find the spot that's equal and come down diagonal. Now this is slightly rounded, and then we're going to come off of here and round it. So watch how I'm going to form this now. Curving toward the edge of the page, stop before you get to the edge of the page, and then I'm going to round this and bring it back to this wing here. So I've come down at a diagonal, rounded up toward the edge of the page, I stopped before it met the edge of my page, and I rounded back to the body. Now we're going to do the same. It's a little bit harder on this side, so what I usually do is I come off of this, find where this is meeting on this side, and then I come horizontal, horizontal out, almost horizontal out on this side. Let me move this over so you can see it. I want this to be rounded, and then I'm going to come back down to here. Round, and then back down. So it's very similar. You want it to appear very similar or symmetrical on both sides. Well, now that we've got our wings, we're going to finish designing the gorgeous patterning inside these wings in a minute. So I want to go on to our abdomen area here. This dragonfly has a segmented abdomen. So that means it's just bunches of little sections. A terminal abdominal appendage. That's how it's ending. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I work up these segmented abdomen areas here. So I come down, down, and come over. So that's one section of the abdomen. And then I'm going to do another one, which comes down, down. I'm slightly diagonal and over. Now, for the very bottom, this is going to taper and get really skinny. So I'm going to find the center and just drop down, imaginary, to the bottom of my page, and that's when I'm going to make that pointy W. That's the abdominal appendage. And I'm going to connect this line, draw it straight to the top of that W, and draw this side straight to the top. So it tapers and gets thinner. Now you just add the different segments to it, into this abdomen, just like that. So this is the basic structure of our gorgeous dragonfly. Now we're going to go ahead and add a little bit. If you want to add the legs, you can. Now, this would be the top view of a dragonfly. So a lot of our legs are hiding behind here. If we want to do a jointed leg, which means the legs are just bent, we can come out and then bend it again, diagonal in. So I'm coming out diagonal, bend it in, and then make a little tiny, smaller bend here. Almost like a zigzag, or this is almost like a Z and a backward Z. So that's two little legs showing. And the other legs would just be hiding behind here. So that's up to you if you want to put them in. I just kind of like to add two of them in the front, but I just want to make sure that you are aware that dragonflies do have the 6 jointed legs, but like some of them are just there. These are just hiding behind our wings here. And even if you put one little piece in here of the leg, I prefer not to add the legs for an artistic view, but if you want to add 6 of them, that's up to you. Our next thing that we're going to design are these beautiful patterns in our wings here. And this one has lots of gorgeous, gorgeous line patterns. And it's built up of all these little veins here. And this is what gives the dragonfly wings its strength. The dragonfly wings are, compared to its body, they're really, really long and thin. But they're it's covered with a transparent material that is very strong. And so we're going to draw in the patterns of that material. They're the actual veins of the dragonfly. Now, whatever we do on one side, we want to kind of match it as close as we can to the other. And it's really up to you how you want to design your patterns on your wings. If you want to copy my line patterns, that's fine. I'm just going to come off the body here, and I'm going to do some kind of just curved straight lines here, and then I'm curving. I'm matching the shape and curve of the wing that I've already drawn here. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. That's basically what you want to remember, is whatever you do on one side, you want to put the same pattern in. And we're not doing this as a scientific sketch, so it doesn't have to be exactly the same. it can be the way you want your pattern to be, and you can design your own line pattern. But I'm just going to show you how I'm going to put in some of them. So I'm going to mimic the same on the bottom wing. So it's up to you if you want to copy what I'm doing. And then I'm going to put in a lot of these little lines for the veins. And I'll do that on the same on both sides. So now I did some vertical lines inside those two lines I drew. And now I'm going to just kind of mimic, kind of come down and do some straight lines coming down here for a pattern. And then I'll add some crossed horizontal lines in here as well. And I'm going to alter these lines. So I'm just going to fill this with some lines coming down. And when you make your lines, do them pretty neat. Take your time and do them neat, and you can see how I'm altering where they begin and end. So if this one ends here, I'm going to come down lower on this side. And this is how I'm going to fill in my pattern here. But like I said, it's up to you how you want to fill in yours. And then I'm going to alter my patterns here. Just making a really neat line drawing here. And I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done. And here's the finished wing on this side. And then I'm going to go ahead and just repeat my lines coming down on this side so that it's symmetrical right here. And all of this veining is what gives the dragonfly its strength, because these wings are pretty powerful even though they're transparent. The dragonfly can actually fly up to 70 miles an hour. You know, that's as fast as a car on an interstate, which is pretty amazing for dragonflies. And actually, they have been around even before the dinosaurs. Some dragonflies have been found in fossils that have dated 300 million years ago. So that's pretty amazing that they've been around. So they are pretty amazing, and we always like to see them in gardens because they help keep the mosquitoes and the gnats and the white flies away. They eat a lot of the insects that are actually what are considered pests to man. So if you see a dragonfly, some people even think it's good luck. So I hope you enjoy creating your dragonfly. And you can go ahead and finish your top wing here, adding these line patterns to it. I'm going to come out and just make some rows coming down like this, kind of curving a bit on this one. But go ahead and finish yours. And there we have our dragonfly that's completed. Now I wanted to show you close up the one I finished here. And I actually did this with colored pencils, but it's up to you how you want to finish it or paint it, or just keep it as a gorgeous line pattern. But you can see here how I added just all warm values and then a slight accent of some cool colors coming through. Now this is imaginary. Here's the thorax area. And I did just some kind of stripes with some shading and value. And then down the abdomen, I added some more pattern and stripes. And added some value and shading to that as well here. But that's up to you how you want to go ahead and color in yours. But I just wanted to show you close up how I colored mine. This would even be fun if you had time. You could do every other one a color. That's a lot of work there though, but those would come out amazing. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and let me know in the comments how yours came out.